thought at the back of my mind that he was interesting. I mean, he looked different, and I'm usually drawn to stuff like that. So I think the switch was that the first day I also met Adekule. I felt like he was smart and physically he's not the kind of person I would go for, but it's not like he's not fine. Like I just go for people that look different, right? So I was drawn to, I mean, knowing Adekule from afar, like just like being attracted to the fact that he was intelligent was not enough. Now getting close to him, I felt like he was a bit too, I don't know the word to use, too like, you know, like a snake, too just.
So and sneaky?
That's the word, exactly. I feel
like
was
that something sneaky. That happened and was it a moment
just
or something?
Instigating things for no reason. I don't like people that just gossip or just take people's problem as their own or just not chill. He was just too in people's drama. It was just too. Oh, I just couldn't stand it anymore. So that's why.
Yeah.
I felt like.
Did you tell him though?
I think I told him that I couldn't figure him out. That's why I left. I think that's what I said. But in other words, I was trying to say that he was just too.
Do you think the switch up was too quick?
I don't think so. I feel like if you don't like something anymore, you can move on. Yeah. You don't have to stick to it just because of. And that's what I did.
Guys, welcome to my channel again. Thank you for coming back here. So yeah, regarding this Alison, Hermes, and Adekule dynamic, I do think, or rather, I thought at the time that the switch was quite quick, and I sort of pitied Adekule at the time, and this was because at this time when Alison switched, he hadn't really started showing his true colors. So yeah, I kind of pitied him and I thought the switch was quick. But at the same time, I do agree that if you don't like something, you don't really need to stick by it. You can move on, and which is what she did. And well, there are no apologies for that. So it's her life and it's her decision to make.
The conversation going around was a lot of people can't figure me out.
You know the way I was very close to Doyin, right? He will come to me and be like, oh, Doyin is not a good friend. She doesn't like you like that. That he feels like she's just with me just because of like the house. She's not genuine. That's why I started to look at him in a way because I really like Doyin. So I was like, why is he talking bad about her? Because I didn't see her do anything wrong to him. So that's when I started to think that this boy wasn't like, he was moving very funny.
Okay, so I agree that he was moving funny, but at the same time, Alison, where was this energy for Adekule while we were in the house? While you guys were in the house, rather? Because you didn't give him this energy. You didn't let him know the things that he was doing wrong. You kind of just coasted. I admit that, okay, it was a game, but at the same time, you were very, very diplomatic, if I must say. So if you didn't act in a way as though he was doing something wrong. So maybe he didn't even know that he was doing something wrong. Well, I don't think he didn't know, Sha. But even at that, everyone knows. Okay, let me not say everyone knows. We could tell that Adekule was a very sneaky fellow. And for some reason, he had it in for Doyin. Now, that's not to say that Doyin was a saint either. But Adekule took it too far on multiple occasions. There was multiple times that he insulted this girl, gathered his people at night time to discuss her.
I actually came to meet this trifling man, and I said to him, do you have a problem with me? Because I've heard these things. If there's a problem, please speak to me about it. And he denied it completely. He was like, oh, no, nothing. I don't have a problem with you. I was very surprised coming out of the house. And this boy would come to me and give me a peck on my forehead. I would think we're good.
That's in the house.
In the house. But then you go to the next person and say, this girl, she's the devil. And okay, I called him the devil's younger brother. And that thing never left his mind. This girl, she's playing this game, she's smart. He was just going around. It's okay not to like me. But let other people have their own judgment about me. Let them get to know me by themselves. Don't go around telling people, doing this, doing that. It's not fair. Do you understand? Like, I watched so many clips that were so heartbreaking. But eventually, at the end of the day, I just realized that, he's a trifling human being. He should be very much ashamed of himself. I think he owes his mom an apology because he threw a home training gutter. He's a very sorry excuse of a man. And I really think he should be very ashamed of himself.
Is it this situation?
No, it's not just this one situation. It's just being a genuinely malicious and vicious person to somebody that, if you have a problem...
Doing this insult is a lot, I don't think some of it was warranted. I do not fancy bringing people's parents or families into arguments or disagreements. Yeah, he wronged you, but his mother didn't have to feature in that insult at all. I know you didn't directly insult her, but What is wrong is wrong. Now, yes, Adekunle is a malicious and vile human being, or at least he was in the house. I don't know if it was part of his game, but he was a malicious and vile human being, not just to Doyin, to Bella, to Shegs. I believe once he just doesn't like you, he sits down and goes on a tirade about you and makes people back him up, which is, I think that Adekunle is part of the reason why this Doyin girl didn't last in the house, because he went on and on and on about her, lying about her to different people, and which formed an image about her to these people, because at the end of the day, I believe Elo Swag later discovered it, but it was too late. So yes, Adekunle deserved the insult.
You liar, I promise you. This boy tells you it's raining outside, check. He's a liar. Damn one of that.
Adekunle, it's okay to admit that you're playing the game. Let me just say it straight up. It's very okay. It's a game.
Finally, I don't have to lie about it.
No, yeah, you don't just have to blend it in lies and stuff. You have to come straight, man. Yeah, it's very necessary. See, you don't have to go like this. It's really unnecessary. You know, many things you say, you blame it on an hangover. You just say something about a hangover that you don't even remember saying. Everything is just looking like
just
this.
hold on a second.
Let's get this straight, man.
Can I clear something up?
Now, I don't know why Dotun puts his mouth here, because it wasn't like he was that much of a friend to Doyin either. He said a lot of bullshit about her to Deji, so I don't get why he came in here. Except he was speaking for himself, because Adekunle also said nonsense about him to Daniela, or rather not to Daniela, to, is it Brian or Diana? I'm not sure, I can't remember, but yeah, Adekunle also said stuff about Dotun, so maybe that's why Dotun spoke up.
Here's the thing. Everybody has asked for my side of the story. I've given my side of the story. But the narrative that played in the house is still playing outside the house almost a year after. That I'm a liar. That I'm not straightforward. The show is over. At this very point, I have nothing to gain. I have nothing to lose.
So Adekunle, riddle me this. If you are such a great person, why is the narrative still playing outside the house? Stop acting like a saint, like you didn't do these things. No one is a saint. All of you in that house gossiped. All of you did shit. Just admit it and move on. Stop acting like a saint. I don't get this attitude you're putting up. Another thing I don't get is you using other people's actions to justify the things you did. So because other people did it, it's okay for you to have done it. And other people did it, but you took it the extra mile. You took it too far.
Person said, I would give you more respect if you stood up and you said, you know what, I was playing the game, I got to the final. Because I respect you, you got to the final. I wouldn't play it how you played it, bro, but you got there in the end. I genuinely believe I never get it wrong. Like, I feel like I can clock if you're a snake or if you're real. But you know what, I'm open to advice, I'm open to learning, I'm open to being a better person. I said, I'm going to South Africa, like, I'll actually check this out. Like, let me actually see, did I get this pure wrong? Like, this guy might actually just be a good guy. Maybe I was bugging, you know, I had no phone, I had no TV, couldn't see my family, couldn't speak to my friends. Maybe I was bugging. Went to SA, guy, you're on the same P. So for me, it's like, I'm not.
We'll get to that. Yeah. Let's not preempt that. But very quickly now, why is that why you believe, because he's told his own side of this story. Why do you believe her and not him?
No, you know what, yeah? I wouldn't say I believe her and I don't believe him. I just believe what I saw. Does that make sense? Yeah. It wasn't a Doyin or Alison situation or Adekunle and Shegs situation or Adekunle and Diana situation. It's just you were moving a certain type of way in the Big Brother house. It got you to the final. It was
to be honest, so far through this reunion, Shegs has surprised me a lot. I wasn't that much of his fan in the house, and he's really surprised me. I'm glad that he didn't take sides with either of them, but I'm happy that he spoke based on his own experience with Adekunle, which is pretty much similar, if not worse than Doyin's.
What exactly happened? I can't remember.
I can't even remember as well. But that was
you were there.
I remember I was talking.
What exactly?
Hey, look, that was just it. Maybe that.
You know the fear, but you don't want to talk. What exactly was that about?
I remember, like, that's it.
So what was it about Chomzi that made you have that conversation? What happened that led to that conversation?
Hey, look, if you watched it properly, you would see that I didn't even know who the girl was at that time. I didn't know who the girl was at that time. I only know when I was busy playing my beautiful game to win the 100 million naira. I was definitely part of my game, Elo Swag, and we were definitely, the whole viewers needed that content, right?
And I remember then, whatever happens between myself and Elizabeth, I will not only come.
I think it was very rude of Fina to address Ebuka in the manner that she did. He asked a simple question, just answer. And I'm sure that is what prompted his response at the end of the episode, because her reaction wasn't needed. Answer the question. Stop forming everything was a game. Oh, the game, I was just playing my game to win the 100 million. Yes, we know you won the 100 million. Auntie, answer the question. You lived your life in the house. Move on. Like, this attitude is not warranted. How would you tell him, oh, if you viewed the clip properly? That's very rude.